Hello everyone, it's Kari here again with you, sharing a really lucky project today. I thought it would be fun to do a St. Patrick's Day theme, and I'm going to be using this Rainbow Builder Stencil from Missing Stamps. I love this stencil because look, there's all these rainbows. They are lined up perfectly for you, so you can create all the layers and use whatever colors and whatever media that you want, which is perfect. So today I pulled out the Rainbow Builder, my A2 sized card panel, and a whole bunch of green inks. I just thought maybe this would inspire me to get started on my St. Patrick's Day inspired theme. So even though I pulled out all these green inks, I ended up just using my distress inks, and I pulled in a couple others here and there as well. But I'm going to get started just by sticking that piece of paper onto my sticky mat. This is a sticky mat for the MISTI. It's really great for building up your stencils, putting your paper in and having it stay put. And I just wanted that paper to stay in the same spot and then be able to put my stencil in the corner and have it line up perfectly. So the layers are really great for this, for lining up. And now I'm starting with Evergreen Bough. This is one of my favorite green colors. It's a really pretty soft green. And I made it a little darker on the top arcs of the rainbow. And this one on the side, I decided, I was pointing to that to show you that it didn't go all the way to the edge of the paper. So I could have moved my paper over just a touch and still been able to get all those rainbows on. So for my next panel, I will do that. Now I'm going to ink on some peeled paint, distress ink, and that's going to give me this other beautiful color. Look at those colors together. I think they're really pretty. And for the top, I decided to go with some gold. So I have some Lunar paste here. This is a sample that I got to try. I've never used Lunar paste before today, but I thought it would be fun for this themed card. I love a little bit of gold with a little bit of green. Now that stencil has a heart right there in between the rainbows, and I want to cover that up because I want to instead put a shamrock or a clover there. And that stamp set I just showed you was one that has a clover in it. I also have a stencil with a clover in it. That's what I'm going to use today. And so I just wanted to show you that I'm going to replace that. So I covered those with a little bit of mint tape, and then I'm going to replace with a clover. So here I just finished putting all the Lunar paste on, and I'm going to go ahead and clean off all of my tools. I did get a little bit on that MISTI mat there, but no worries, I was able to wash it all off just with a little bit of water, and my MISTI mat is still sticky and works great. Now the easiest way to peel the paper off is to bend your mat and the paper will come right off. And there you go. So now you can see that I got a little bit of that Lunar paste kind of through the stencil. It smushed through just a little bit. So I'm going to take my little tool here that's got one end with the poker tool. This is my magic wand, but I'm going to use that to clean it up. So it worked out just fine. And I'm also going to put some words over that, so you're not really going to notice that nearly as much. While I set that aside to dry, I'm going to do another panel here, and this time I moved the paper over, you can see, so the rainbow pretty much fit to the edge. I did trim this down just a touch, but I'm going to use the same colors on this one. And I just want to show you just a few little variations. Now, if you don't want to use green, of course you can do a rainbow colored rainbow and add some green clovers to the background. You can do whatever you want, any colors you want. But I love a green rainbow for a little bit of a difference. I think it's fun. So you can see it's very simple to just ink these on. You don't even have to think about it when you have it lined up in the MISTI in the corner there. But I will say that I did get one rainbow that didn't line up very well. It's on the back of this panel. You'll see that when I glue it down. Just want to tell you, not everything works out perfectly the first time, and that's okay. So I taped off one of the clovers on this Build-A-Card stencil, and I'm going to ink that on with one of my favorite ink colors, kind of a blue-green. It's Welsh Dragon. And I'm using this detail brush to ink that on, and there we have our clover. Now I've already cut out some letters from an alphabet die that I had in my stash. This is a serif die, and it's kind of like a blocky typewriter look. So this is the one I went for, and I cut it out with some chipboard here. That's what I'm building up, and then some gold. And so I used 2 chipboard layers and 1 gold layer. So this is a nice built up sentiment. It's got a lot of weight to it, and I love the gold as well. Now I'm going to trim this down, as I mentioned before, just a little bit on each of the sides. That way I get a nice even rainbow on all the sides of my cardstock there, and it's going to show a little bit of white all around the edge. So there you can see my rainbows that didn't quite line up. I don't know what happened. But it's a good thing there's 2 sides to every paper, right? So now as I was placing those letters, I was getting ready to glue them down, and I thought, you know, this is missing a little something. So I could go ahead and put more clovers all around, which I think would be really cute too. But I decided to use this beautiful stencil and just add a slight design to the background. I didn't re-ink my brush. I just used whatever green was on there and added a little bit, and that really did the trick. Now in the video you can't see it nearly as much in real life, which I should remember every time I do this to make it a little darker for the video so you can really see it. But in real life it adds quite a bit of interest. And so I left it just like that, glued those letters on, and then I made sure they were lined up using my rulers. So I like to just make sure they're all aligned, and then I also brought out my T-square ruler to make sure they were lined up with the edge. There we go. I'm going to add a little birthday sentiment to this. I stamped this out with some green ink using another stamp set that I found a really great size birthday in there. This is going to be a birthday luck card. My mom's birthday is on St. Patrick's Day, and so I usually turn one of my St. Patrick's Day cards into a birthday card. Now green isn't her favorite color, but she loves rainbows, so I think she's going to love this. And look at that luck, how it shines. So pretty. Now here's the other one I did with the Lunar paste. I cut out a little different font for this one, and it turned out a little wonky, but that's okay. You know, sometimes handmade is not perfect, but this is a little bit of luck, right? So that one I matted on some dark green paper, and I added some green sequins all around, especially to cover up some of the imperfections there. So here you can see the difference in the 2 different cards. I love a touch of gold with the green, and so the green with the gold luck is probably my favorite, but also that Lunar paste, it really catches the light. Look here, you can see that. I hope you enjoyed these cards today. If you did, give it a thumbs up. It really helps out with YouTube. Subscribe to the channel as well. I'll be back real soon with more card making inspiration. Bye-bye.